Hi friends, welcome to my channel Pallavi's English Academy. Today we will study a poem of class 12 and the name of the poem is My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. My Mother at 66 is written by Kamala Das. Now Kamala Das, not the original name. Original name is Kamala Suraya. Later when she got married, her name changed to Kamala Das. She is also known by her pet name and the name is Madhavi Kutti. She was an Indian poetess in English and also a famous author in Malayalam from Kerala. So now we will start off with the poem. My Mother at 66 is based on the theme of your advancing age and the pain of loss and separation. When we grow old, it is sure that death is very near. Someday or the other, death will come. So here in this poem also we will find that the poetess's mother has grown old and the poetess is having that pain in her heart that perhaps she will lose her mother. Now here the poetess undergoes a plethora of emotions where she sees her mother aging and feels the pain of separation at the thought of losing her. So the poem is written, you will see, in a single sentence which indicates the single thought, that is loss of beauty and charm and approaching death and decay. So let's not waste time and start the poem directly. My Mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So here the poet had gone to visit her parents' home and on Friday morning she was returning back. So on her way to the airport, she noticed her mother, she has dozed off and her mouth was wide open. This generally happens with all of us. Suppose you are traveling and you have dozed off, you don't know, in your unconscious mind you have opened your mouth. So here what happens, when the poetess looks at her mother, she feels that her face was pale and it has become just like a dead body. So corpse over here is a dead body. So it perhaps expresses the pain she felt because of separation from her daughter. Maybe for some reasons the daughter has to go back to her workplace and she is also not willing to go, but she is committed to her workplace and she has to go. So this is all about the first stanza. Now we see the next stanza. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So the poet was alarmed and she was extremely upset to suddenly realize the old age which has crept upon the mother. It was very hard to accept the matter that the mother has grown old. Now the poet was pained to see her mother and just she wanted to change her mind. So immediately she looked out of the window and there she saw that the cars were moving and the young trees, as the car was moving, it felt that the green young trees appeared to be running in the opposite direction. So then she also saw a group of children rushing out of their homes and they were merrily playing. So when the car is moving, we see that in the opposite direction the trees are also, as if the trees are also running. So both of these were the reminder of past. The young sprinting trees over here represent the fast time had flown by. The children represented youth, the charm, because children are young, so for them it is the phase where they are all quite energetic, they are playing, they are having fun. But on the contrast we find that the mother is sitting beside her, who has grown pale, who has grown old, and the death is approaching. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her van, pale as a late winter's moon. So here, after looking at the young children and the trees, somehow she was able to just divert her mind for some time. But when she reached at the airport, and there, after all the formalities, it was time to look at her mother. She found her mother lifeless, as if she was dull and completely without any energy. She looked as a late winter's moon. So late winter's moon over here means what? That it was not very clear. When you see during the winter, the moon, it is not very clear, it is foggy, it's mist. So it also says that the end was very near. Next, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So here, once again, she was pained to see her mother in this condition as the mother grew old. And as she was going away and leaving her mother, as I told you all, that there must have been certain commitments for which she had to go back to her workplace, and she had to leave her mother alone over there. She was extremely upset and her heart grieved. But then she tried to hide her emotions. She did not want her mother to get hurt if she would come to know that she was also very upset. So she continuously smiled, and she addressed to her mother that when she comes back again, for sure they will meet once again. So friends, you can see over here the picture that has been attached, that how a person slowly and gradually gets detached from their parents. It is for sure that someday or the other you will lose him or her, your mother or your father, because with the growing age the death approaches. So it is the fact that someday or the other you will lose the person, and it becomes very difficult for all of us to cope up with the situation. Here also in the poem we see that Kamala Das is extremely workaholic, and she has to move on. She has to go back to her workplace, leaving her mother behind. And she also comes to know that the mother is growing old, and perhaps she will die because of the old age. But then she is helpless at that particular time. She has to go back. But she becomes extremely upset to see that how once the mother was also extremely young and charming and energetic, but with the passing time, slowly and gradually, she has become pale and dull, like the winter's moon. So this poem is again very important for your class 12 syllabus, where you have to know about the facts that how these human tendencies are very important. Now there are some important poetic devices that are used in the poem. So the very first important poetic device is simile. So face ashen like a corpse. We all know that simile is what? The comparison using like or as. So here the face has been compared to a corpse as a late winter's moon. So again there is a comparison that the face looked like the late winter's moon. The next poetic device used over here is personification, like trees sprinting. The sprint means running, and here we know that trees can't run, but there is a human character, or you can say the living being's character has been implemented over here. Next is repetition, smile and smile and smile. So smile word has been repeated thrice. So this is the next poetic device, repetition. And here the next important poetic device is metaphor, like children spilling. So children are rushing out of their homes. If you have any kind of doubt, guys, then do text me in the comment section below and I'll clarify your doubts. Thank you.